Oh, it's lit. We prime time. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us your feedback. Yo, I'm Manny at the plate and Kobe off a steal. Gretzky for the goal and Brady at the wheel. I'm a game changer, the Osaka of the tennis. And breaking scoreboards, Simone of the Olympics. Defense and big business, the Mayweather who way better. From the greatness of Jim Brown, I've been down. Talking sports before I was off the porch. Screaming Bo knows while Jordan was playing horse. Late 80s getting torched by the drive and the shot. 2016 got a ring off the three in the block. They eased to forgot the cardiac kids. Price and Doherty, Bale in the Indian years. This who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, your host DeeTrynt, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer.
Yo, what's really good? DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, InDaStreetzSportz. Sports. Oh, baby, it's going down today, okay? Listen, now we all knew, or at least I knew. I don't know if y'all was on it like I was on it, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I knew that when NFL free agency was crazy, oh, I knew for a fact NBA free agency was about to be crazy, okay? And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Anytime, and I literally mean anytime, that the Cavaliers or any Cleveland team make an impact on the league, bruh, they always trying to change the league up. All right, we can go back through history. They always trying to change the league up, bruh. So I was not shocked. I'm not surprised by the fact that all these people are moving elsewhere. I'm not shocked that it is so many transactions going on. However, I am shocked at the fact of where certain players are ending up. This is getting crazy, y'all. Okay. The first few minutes of free agency started crazy. All right. I mean, like it went down. All right. And it's still going down. Hold on. I'm getting my share on. All right. So, just bear with me for a second. Okay. Because this has gotten crazy. However, me personally, I'm enjoying it like a motherfucker, boy. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'm enjoying it, okay? Because I want to see more parity in the league. I want it to be tougher to get to 60 wins or to get to 70 wins. It shouldn't be this cupcake sweet walk. Every night should be a competitive night. You know what I'm saying? That's for me in any sport. It ain't just basketball. I want that in any sport. You know what I'm saying? Anytime it's only so many teams that's good, bro, it's always bad for the league. It's always bad for the league. So what we got going on right now is whew, hold on, man. I'm still sharing. Give me a second. I am I am you know, a lot of these moves is really smart. Um What's really good, Welch 4795. What's really good? The Jazz, and you know what's so crazy? I think the Jazz move is is just a precursor to another move. Hold on, I'm getting my share on. So we listen. Should we start there? Should we just start with the most recent and then work back? Is that how we listen? So for those that don't know, and for those that's just tuning in, welcome. DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk on InDaStreetzSportz. All right. My man Welch 4795 just came up on the chat and said, you know what I'm saying? Welch is cool. For sure. Welch just came on and said, hey, Jazz want to trade. Hey, listen, I don't know if anybody's seen the Brian Windhorst footage that was leaked earlier today. And he went on this 2-minute rant about how GMs around the league are trying to figure out what the Jazz are doing because of one of these small moves they made. All right. And that move was trading Royce O'Neal to the Brooklyn Nets for a future first round pick. All right. Mind you, Brooklyn ain't really got no first round picks like that. So this got to be like a pick swamp or whatever the case. Whatever the case may be, that was just a precursor to say that either Donovan or Rudy was getting traded. Now, most of us would probably say Rudy's going to get traded before Donovan because Donovan's a scorer. And the name of the game is putting up points. So when you got a guy who can score, not everybody can score at a high level. When you get one of those guys, you know what I'm saying? When you get one of those guys, you kind of got to hang with that guy. As far as Rudy Gobert case, though, he hurt himself with the COVID situation. You know what I'm saying? You could argue because of him, the NBA started getting shut down, even though that's probably a stretch. But, you know, he put himself in that situation. But what Minnesota gave up to get him, most people say Minnesota gave up too much. All right, but let's really, really look at this trade, y'all. Because from my opinion, all they traded was Malik Beasley and 4 first-round picks. Now, some people like Jared Vanderbilt, and I think he's a growing player. He probably going to find somewhere to fit. But he's probably on like an expiring deal or something. He only got 1 or 2 years left on his deal. We already know Patrick Beverly is just like a whatever guy. All right? They got Kessler Walker and somebody else. All right? But Malik Beasley is really the prize of that trade. Because if you put Malik Beasley in the backcourt with Donovan Mitchell. All right, now you really got something, you know what I'm saying, to start with. And then it's supposed to be rumored that the Utah Jazz may be going to work a sign and trade to get DeAndre Ayton. So now you putting DeAndre Ayton with Donovan Mitchell and Malik Beasley. You know what I'm saying? And Kessler, hey man, Kessler Walker definitely showed some life last year. He showed some signs, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, guys like that got to find the right situation that's going to allow them to grow and let the game show. You know what I'm saying? And, it remains to be determined where that situation is for Kessler Walker. But let's get into the Minnesota side of things. First off, I absolutely love this trade for Minnesota. Most people probably won't like the trade for Minnesota. Maybe they say Minnesota gave up too much. You know, maybe they think, but when you're building a championship team, right, you're supposed to load up where you can. And when you do get a chance to do that, you're supposed to capitalize on your position. Bro, they got D'Lo. And for anyone who don't know who D'Lo is, they got D'Angelo Russell. All right. They have Anthony Edwards and they have Karl Anthony Towns. Now, all 3 of them are scorers. Oh yeah, for sure, Welch. Welch said you can put anybody with Mitchell, and they will be good. I watched Mitchell for 4 years at Louisville, and he was a baller. No, he definitely a baller for sure. But the Minnesota side of this, all right. So you got D'Lo, Ant-Man, and Big Cat. That's gonna play your 2, 3, and 4. By putting Rudy Gobert at the 5, now you're freeing up Karl Anthony Towns to do a lot more scoring and have help D. All right, instead of being the main defensive guy, especially in the big in this league, and he bigger than most people. So he already claimed to be one of the best shooters, and he got a big man. He got a post game. Anthony Edwards definitely gonna draw the lane. So there's gonna be a lot of driving lanes, bruh, because D'Lo and Cat can shoot. So I'm saying if they add like a defensive point guard, you know, listen, this is gonna sound crazy, but a Markelle Fultz would do wonder in that lineup right now. Could you imagine Markelle Fultz playing a point guard for them? Oh my God, bro, that would be crazy. All right, but I like this move for Minnesota, and I feel like this move is Minnesota telling the league like we're ready to compete right now, bro. I'm talking about ready to compete right now. You know what I'm saying? So I like this move for Minnesota, man. I'm really happy that they're making a move to really put them in a position to really contend. because that franchise did not do right by KG, in my opinion. They had all-star level squad for quite a long time, and they never figured out how to use it. You had all this management issues and all that. But I see, A-Rod over there ownership now, so they probably gonna spend a lot of bread, bro. Like I commend Minnesota for making that move, because now they putting pressure on the rest of the league, bro. Them boys gonna be dangerous with them scores, all right. And Rudy Gobert is a multiple time winning defensive player of the year, bro. You can't overlook that. All right, but let's get into the free agency tracker, and let's back up on some more of these deals. All right, let's start with the extensions. Okay, Zach LaVine gets 5 years, $215 million extension to stay in Chicago. All right, so now we gonna see what they gonna do, because DeRozan over there, you know what I'm saying? Zach LaVine over there, they talking about shopping Kobe White. They talking about shopping Vucevic. Maybe Pat Williams may end up in the deal, because they was talking about getting Gobert. But now that they ain't getting Gobert, do they try to work a sign and trade with Phoenix to try to get DeAndre Ayton? Or, Mo Bamba went back to Mo Bamba, crazy. He went back to Orlando. Now, and I mentioned Mo Bamba because he's a center, and Chicago's looking for a center. So they don't get Mo Bamba. Do they try to trade for Mitchell Robinson? You know what I'm saying? Or is he a free agent? Do they just swoop him up? I mean, it's crazy to see what Chicago will do, but I think they were very smart to bring Zach LaVine back, because you put him with what you got. Lonzo Ball should come back really healthy, and that should be that should be pretty good. Whew. Nikola Jokic got a 5-year, $270 million extension. Okay? Why nobody can complain about him getting this extension is because he's a back-to-back MVP. Now, I understand that he hasn't won a big game or nothing, but he's a back-to-back MVP. All right? You got to put some respect on that. So, then you got Ja Morant got an extension. He got what did he get? 5 years, $186 million. Hold on, who else got deals? Hold on, where they at? They tripping. Who else just got a deal? I think Devin Booker got re-signed. He got a 5-year deal. Look, let me pull this up. Oh, just to detour away from the re-signings right quick. Malcolm Brogdon got traded to the Celtics. Now, this is an interesting trade. All right, because for one, Malcolm Brogdon is a guard. He's not necessarily a 1 or a 2. He's really a guard. So pairing him with Marcus Smart and bringing Derek White off the bench is fire for them. They got rid of Tice in this deal. They also traded Jawan Morgan, Aaron Neesmith, Malik Fitz, and 20 and next year's first round pick. So I like this trade for Boston. And it tells me that my guy, Rick Carlisle, he is definitely building your team. My favorite team is Cleveland, bro. We ain't even got to Cleveland. Welsh asked me who's my favorite team. My favorite team, Cleveland, bro. We gonna get to Cleveland in a second. You know what I'm saying? InDaStreetzSportz reporting breaking live. Kevin Looney is staying with the Golden State Warriors on a 3-year deal worth $25.5 million. Okay, then get your $8 million a year. Get your $8.5 million a year. Okay, then check you out there. Kevin Looney has really played very well for the Warriors in a limited role, even though his game is way more real-rounded. You good, bro? Oh, he said, not because I'm a Cavs fan. We gonna get to that in a second, Welch. But he has more game than he's been allowed to show, but it's won him 3 championships. So as the coach say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right. Happy that he stayed there for sure. The Hawks acquire Kevin Herter from Atlanta, and they trade Justin Holiday, Maurice Harkless, and a 2024 lottery protected first round pick. Now, what's so crazy about this is Kevin Herter actually fit with that little squad right there. They sign Malik Monk. They draft Keegan Murray. Even if you started Malik Monk, Kevin Herter, and Keegan Murray at the 2, 3, and 4, in between Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox, you still got a nice little squad. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to remember, Monk and Fox got history because they played in college together. DeMontis is a versatile big man. Keegan Murray is like a unicorn, really, and he really got game. And Kevin Herter can flat out shoot it, even though he got a little, like, he ain't got crazy handles, but he got a little handle where he could pass and shit. So, that's crazy. And then, let's not forget how the Hawks traded Danilo Gallinari, a 2023 first round pick from Charlotte, a 2025 first round pick, a 2027 first round pick to the Spurs for DeJounte Murray. Now, as it seems to come out, DeJounte Murray and Trae Young have been plotting on this for a while. So, this is interesting, all right? You got Patrick Beverley's time to take another team to the playoffs. Wells just posted a quote from Patrick Beverley, always business. Wolves, thank you. Time to take another team to the playoffs. In all fairness to Patrick Beverley, Welch, every team he's been on over the last half decade has been to the playoffs. I'll give him that. I will give him that. So, TJ, what's good? He chimes in. Where does Mike Conley go? That's a great question, bro. So it depends, though. Mike Conley probably would have been a good fit for the Cavs and them trading Love. But I doubt that happens now because the Cavs just signed Neto and Rubio. So I doubt they take on that money. Conley could go to the Lakers. Listen, what if, and I said this too, bro. I said this too earlier. Well, not earlier today, but probably like a month ago, I tweeted this. You can probably check me out, DeeTrynt on Twitter. All right. And I said, what if the Lakers traded Russell Westbrook to Utah for Mike Conley and Bogdan? I said the money worked. It definitely a fit with Brown and them. All right. And then Russell Westbrook on the last year of his deal. Now, I don't think Russell would like that because it's Utah and he already has his history there. But you say you got Russell Westbrook with Donovan Mitchell and Malik Beasley. I mean, you got a pretty nice little front court there. But I would fully expect Westbrook will probably get bought out. It depends on what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Utah either is, it looks like they building about Donovan Mitchell, but Mike Conley still got 3 years left on his deal. I think Bogdan got an expiring contract, or maybe he got another year left on his deal. But Russell Westbrook is $47 million expiring. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you is. To get $50 million back on your books for next year, that would be crazy. Man, TJ. So TJ said, Arterius, he had asked a question about why would anybody trade for Westbrook, which led to my last response. TJ was asking, Clippers trying to get KD for Paul and some other players. KD, Kawhi, and John Wall, that does sound crazy. I highly doubt. Paul George and Russell Simmons, and I say Russell Simmons. And Ben Simmons, man, that'd be crazy. TJ said Westbrook. Oh, that's Art. Art, what's good, baby? What's good with you, baby? I ain't used to reading your name like that. This OG. You know what I'm saying? One of the original OGs, man. Welcome on. I appreciate having you, bro. Man, ain't no telling what TJ say Westbrook will be making like 15 million in his next contract, bro. Ain't no telling what he might make. All right, I ain't even really tripping. But let me go back to this Atlanta thing. Atlanta with DeJounte and Trey Young tells me for sure, always tells me that Trey Young wants to be a scorer that can facilitate, which makes that offense even lethal if when DeJounte Murray is basically the lead facilitator and Trey Young is the lead scorer. So they got Clint Capella down there, and they still got DeAndre Hunter, which I think DeAndre Hunter really makes this possible for Trey Young to play like basically kind of like the 2 position. Because DeJounte can guard the tougher assignments, and then you have DeAndre Hunter there. So, you know, it's interesting to see what happens with John Collins. Places I want to see John Collins go. I don't know. We're going to come back to that. Let's go back to Denver, though. Because after giving Jokic his extension, they then traded Will Barton and Monte Morris to the Washington Wizards for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Ish Smith. Now, let me tell y'all, I liked this trade for both teams. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is the defensive wing that Denver needed. All right, a guy who can stretch the floor. He don't need a lot. He don't need the ball a lot. He can definitely, you know what I'm saying, like really fill in that culture over there, especially when you got him and Eric Gordon. They getting Jamal Murray back. Michael Porter Jr. will come back playing at 3. I really like what they did with this. And then Ish Smith is a good point guard off the bench. A fast guy, small. I really like that. What's good with you, baby? I'll be straight. What's poppin', baby? Welcome to the platform. I appreciate having you. All right, so Monte Morris definitely just got him a starting job because Monte Morris is a really good backup point guard. JL, what's poppin', baby? Is a really good point guard. So I expect him to be able to. They want to trade everybody. I expect, and that was TJ saying they about to trade everybody. I expect Monte Morris to play that starting point guard role because Bradley Beal playing the 2 is ideal, and then Kuzma at the 3. The problem is though with keeping Kuzma is that you don't really get to see what Avdija and Hachimura is going to do for you. And I really think those are the 2 guys that should be playing the 3 and 4 for them because they drafted them. So you got Kristoff down there. If you running with that, I think that's cool. They drafted Johnny Davis. They still got some more moves they gonna make, but we gonna see because they could trade Bradley Beal. We gonna see how that worked though. Then you got the Knicks who traded Nerlens Noel and Anthony Burks and 2 first-round picks with cash consideration to the Detroit Pistons. TJ asks, would I do Zion for Durant? No, I would not. Hold on? Danielle says, "What's up, Daniel? Daniel, my bad. Daniel said, "Is the Cavs coming out the East this year? What you think?" I don't know yet. It's hard to really make that assumption because even though this is the beginning of free agency, nobody's actually signed their contracts, and none of these trades have actually went down in stone. It's still the moratorium, so that doesn't end till Sunday. Let me see, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, that doesn't end till Sunday afternoon, and then Sunday night, Monday morning, teams actually start being official. So, TJ, that sound cool though, but I actually like what they got in New Orleans. With CJ McCullough, Dyson Daniels, Ingram, Zion, and Valanciunas. I really like what they have there. They should just build around that. Durant is old, bro. So Durant want to go somewhere where he could contend this year right now. That team that New Orleans got is still like it's still like 2 years away, a year away. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't want Durant to go there. If you're gonna send Durant somewhere to play with some young guys and end his career, send him somewhere where he got some real good young guys. Art asks, does New York Knicks signing Jalen Brunson move the needle? It doesn't necessarily move the needle forward for them, but it does keep them from moving backwards. I think New York had a starting point guard problem. Jalen Brunson definitely aids that as a guy who's a proven winner from college and now in the pros. But also, you're not forcing Emmanuel Quickly to be that guy right now. So him and Quickly with Quentin Grimes, I think that would be a nice little rotation. You add RJ Barrett, and hopefully they're gonna keep Cam Reddish now because of all these moves they made. Then you still got Julius Randle, who's really going to still be some type of facilitator. So Jalen Brunson doesn't really take away from that, but he does add because Jalen Brunson can score from the point guard. What they do at the center position, or whether they, I mean, because Obi Toppin got to play. So, depending on what they do there, is really going at the center position is really going to be about to be desired. But I think it definitely keeps them in the hunt for a top 6 seed in the East. That's what I do think. At least the play-in at worst. It keeps them in. Let's say that it keeps the Knicks at least in the play-in talk for sure. Let's see what they do. If they re-sign Mitchell, then that definitely put them in a. They could compete for a top 6 spot in the East if they all play right because Tibbs teach defense and they already got offensive games on their own. So we'll see. Daniel said Minnesota got Twin Towers now. It's going to be hard to score on them, bro. What Art was just saying about moving the needle, that trade just moved the needle in the West, bro. Golden State has to bring that team back. And them losing Gary Payton II was a big blow. But because they got Kuminga and Moses Moody, it's not as bad. And they still got Jordan Poole. So did he say KD to the Jazz? Wait, hold on. He might go to the Jazz, bro. You just typed that. That's what Welch said. Welch just said that like that just got printed up. That made me go to Twitter right quick. Okay, hold on. Let me see that. But the Knicks definitely should look better. That's what I will say for sure. Hold on. Let's get into some more of these deals that went on. So Mo Bamba went. Hold on. Where the joint at? Because Mo Bamba went back to the Magic. Nicholas Batum went back to the Clippers. Speaking on the Clippers, let's talk about the Clippers. First, let's talk about John Wall. My dog. That's right. Make Houston pay that money. If they gonna make you sit down a year, make sure you get your money. And then not only get you to get your money, you went and got an extra $6 million. They took $6 million from you, and you went and got that back plus an extra $6 million and another playing year. So virtually, you just got paid like $60 million for 2 years. You feel me? So shout out to John Wall. Secondly, I like John Wall with the Clippers and that particular team as it's set up. Because John Wall doesn't have to come in and be the guy. He has Reggie Jackson over there with him. Then you add Paul, Kawhi, Batum. They brought back Zubac, which why does Zubac deserve $40 million? Or did he get 33? Why, can somebody explain to me why Zubac getting so much money? At the same token, though, he fit with that team. So that's why I ain't too tripping on the deal. But it's setting a bad precedent for guys who not real starters. Because I don't view Zubac as a real starter. I do view him as like a top 8, top 7 rotation player, but not a starter. That's just me, though. The Clippers, though, they put it together. They're going to be a problem. TJ was saying the Spurs are going to tank. I don't know why the Spurs are tanking, TJ. I have no clue on what's going on. The only thing I can really assume is that Popovich is trying to lead a team to Tim Duncan, and Tim Duncan gonna end up being the head coach over there. And Tim Duncan is just picking the players that he want to start building around, but he still want to have the flexibility to move up. So, man, we gonna see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You got to do that depending on your market, because you got to remember, Welch was saying he think they overplaying players to get them to stay, and you kind of got to do that depending where you at, because you just think about it. If Rudy Gobert was a free agent, bro, do you think he would have just signed up with Minnesota? No. You know what I'm saying? If Jalen Brunson was a free agent, well, he was a free agent. I can't say that because he was a free agent. But you know, in certain places people don't want to go. People playing Milwaukee. Milwaukee's winning this championship team, so people want to stay there. People want to go there. You know what I'm saying? But depending on where your location is, bro, people don't want to get $100 million and not be able to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really want to do what they want to do with their money. So if you got to overpay a player to keep him on your team so your team could stay building and be in contender, then guess what? Worth is about what is worth to you, not necessarily to everybody else. What are you worth to that situation? You know what I'm saying? So we gonna see how it happen. Daniel, let me go back to you because I see you. You said, do you think Kyrie will follow Durant wherever he ends up? I think they want to follow each other, but I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. I truly think that unless the Nets get a crazy offer for both of them, I highly doubt both of them goes. Now, the question is, do you think Utah could offer them a crazy enough package to get Kyrie and Durant? And now you put in Kyrie and Durant with Donovan Mitchell and Malik Beasley. I think that's something. If they do, that would be me. Also, I think OKC has the potential to do that. Because if you put Kyrie and Kevin Durant in Oklahoma with Shai Gilgeous, Giddey, and Chet Holmgren, because they're not going to give one of them up. They don't feel like they have to. Because for one, Brooklyn don't have no picks. OKC got a bunch of picks, so it's not going to bother them to give them 7 draft picks, bro. Literally, OKC could give Brooklyn 7 draft picks, and that shit don't hurt them at all. You know what I'm saying? They could probably get them back a couple of young players or something. Maybe a guy who getting too much money that they don't really like that. You know what I'm saying? And that'd be cool. But outside of that, I really don't see Durant and Kyrie going to the same place. Now, where Durant could end up, and let me touch on that. For those who don't know, because I didn't highlight this, so for those who get this on the playback, and like I say, it's DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, InDaStreetzSportz, streaming on multiple social platforms, catch us on Spotify, Anchor, things like that. So if you catch this on a replay, Durant formally requested for a trade at the start, like literally like 2 hours before free agency started, bro. Durant asked for a trade, all right, which set the world on fire. Then Brunson signed, and then the dominoes just started falling. Okay, wait, hold on. Speaking of dominoes falling, let's go to Portland. Now, Portland made a trade for Jeremy Grant and acquired him from the Detroit Pistons right before the draft. They turned around in the draft and drafted Shaedon Sharpe. Then turned around yesterday, re-signed Anthony Simons for 4 years, $100 million. And as I'm reading right now, they just re-signed Yusuf Nurkic for 4 years, $70 million. And then they added Gary Payton Jr. for 3 years, $28 million. So Dame gonna get the score and do his thing. Jeremy Grant gonna get the score and do his thing. All right. Anthony Simons gonna get the score and do his thing. Now the question is, will Anthony Simons start, or will Anthony Simons come off the bench? TJ say Durant to the Raptors. I don't see how that's possible without them giving up Siakam. So I'm going to have to say a hard no on Durant to the Raptors. You know what I'm saying? Portland, look, Chauncey Big Shot Billups over there is the head coach going into his second year. In his first year, he had to dismantle his team, get rid of a lot of pieces. They still got a couple guys over there. Like I say, with Peyton Simons, right? Anthony Simons. With Simons, Lillard, and Gary Payton Jr. That's a pretty nice rotation at guard, especially at lead guard, however they want to do it, or 1 and 2. Shaedon Sharpe is going to be a lot better than people anticipate, which probably could be the key to they doing what they doing. Jeremy Grant is going to be a mainstay. I'm not a fan of Nurkic, but I am a fan of this re-signing. If this re-signing leads them to trade Nurkic and somebody else for DeAndre Ayton, because I personally want to see DeAndre Ayton with Dame Lillard. That's just me personally. I remember when Dame played with LaMarcus Aldridge and they were unstoppable. And I think that's probably the worst decision of LaMarcus Aldridge's career was leaving Portland and not staying, but that's another conversation. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna see what Portland do with the rest of this free agency. Bruce Brown from the Nets is now with Denver Nuggets. That's crazy because now Denver got some real solid defense on that wing. That's going to allow their people to score. That's crazy. Daniel said, what do you think the Cavs will have to give up for Durant? I'm thinking Sexton with other things. Okay, Daniel. I don't know if this is probably your first time tuning in, so I appreciate you coming up here. I'm going to tell you right now, any trade involving Colin Sexton is a hard no for me. That's not even really negotiable with me because, and I'll just give you some context, the Cavs are not known as an organization that develops their talent. Also, they're not an organization known for retaining said talent after said talent has gotten up in stature. That's something that needs to be changed. That needs to be changed. We're not condoning that. Colin Sexton is a top 15 scorer in this league at 22 years old. I will debate anybody on that fact. Go look at his numbers. He's efficient. The fact that he's 6'1" means nothing to me. You know why it means nothing to me? Because Allen Iverson was 6'1". He wasn't even a real 6 feet. And he was a dog. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? When Larry Brown stopped trying to play him as a point guard and he put him as a shooting guard, they went to the NBA Finals. So from that point forward, when I witnessed that, all right, and Iverson's my favorite player, just to put that out there, all right? When I witnessed that, that let me know that in basketball, you have to play guys to the position that their talent and skill sets put them at, and not necessarily what you think is dictated by height. We already was just coming in, or we kind of coming out of the era of positionless basketball. So I don't understand the knock on Colin being the leading scorer for this team, or even the second leading scorer for this team, when it's supposed to be positionless basketball. On top of that, for the Cavs, nobody on the Cavs has proven to take his spot. Colin Sexton was out a year, and nobody played the two guard well enough to say, damn, bro, he really took the spot from Colin. So, listen, to me, Colin worth $25 to $30 million a year. If it's me, I'm re-signing him. I'm giving him 5 years, 150. He's not a max player. I give you that. But neither is Darius Garland, which is another conversation. But I'd give them both. Look, 5 years, 125, 150, and we just gonna keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? But Kevin Durant probably wouldn't want to come to the Cavs because LeBron played here. And I don't care what y'all say. Durant don't want to go nowhere LeBron done been. So I really don't see him going to Miami, even though Miami, if they was to, Miami is a nice fit. But Durant probably most likely could end up with Phoenix. Phoenix could give up multiple picks, which is something that they would desire. They might have to give up a Cam Johnson, and I want to say a Cameron Payne, but they'll probably have to give up like 5 draft picks, Cam Johnson, and it might be a hard press for Mikal Bridges too. Ideally, though, I would think Phoenix want to keep Mikal Bridges, but if Phoenix serious about taking a leap after seeing what everybody in the West has just done, but they kind of gotta go get Durant, especially if he wants to go there. You know what I'm saying? Now, Durant did put Miami on his list, so so my point about not going where LeBron could be thrown out, but I think it's more of a chance him going to Phoenix than him going to Miami, because if you don't know, you can live just as good as Phoenix and have just as much fun as you can in Miami. And this is speaking from a guy who's lived in Phoenix. Let me tell you, bro, it ain't just desert like that. It's shit to do. All right. But let me run through this. Speaking on Cleveland, since we're talking Cleveland, Cleveland has brought back Ricky Rubio. All right, on a 3-year, $18 million deal. All right, Ricky Rubio most likely will not even play majority of this year, because of his knee injury. He may be ready for the playoffs. That's what I would assume, that he'll probably be back around March to be ready for the playoff run, which we would need him. But we would need him to knock off that rust in the month of March, in the April. So I would say post All-Star break, we could probably see Ricky Rubio. They also turned around and signed Robin Lopez, who is a rebounder who can defend the rim. Ricky Rubio is a defensive facilitator. Two things that I was saying, I highlight because those are two things I said the Cavs needed. And then they brought in, Robin Lopez is a 7-footer. So now the Cavs have 4 7-footers in their front court. All right, bro. But also they signed Raul Neto, and Neto signed a veteran minimum to come play in Cleveland. Now I think he's just filling a role until Rubio comes back. You know what I'm saying? And we decide from there. But having all three definitely helps, because it keeps us some type of facilitator with defense that we can bring in. And Colin can really just be a scorer playing the 2 and make off his scoring. Now, let's think about this Colin thing for a minute. All right? Now, people were saying Colin, and this is what made me mad. People said Colin Sexton isn't worth $20 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Cleveland very relevant right now, because Cleveland the reason everybody making these moves. Let's be very clear about that, TJ. The only reason that the NBA making moves like that is because the Cavs is relevant. And if you go back in history, every time the Cavs make big moves like this and they overachieve in the year they thought the Cavs was going to underachieve, the whole league started making moves. This is just what's always transpired. So we're not going to say Cleveland's not relevant, bro, especially when Cleveland was a number 2 seed going into the All-Star break last year. If it wasn't for injuries, we'd be having a whole different conversation about Cleveland and the playoffs and a few other teams. So we not doing that on here. You know what I'm saying? DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports. If you're tuning in from whatever social platform you're on, it's a pleasure to have you. Please come in, chime in, hit the link if you want to come up. You feel what I'm saying? So with the Cavs making these moves, I feel like Kobe Altman be listening to me, bro. I don't know him. I ain't never met him, but I feel like we in tune, because when I be on some shit, he seems to be backing me up with the moves he made. So I'm going to say this again. I would be very shocked if Kevin Love and Chetty Osman are on this Cavs roster next season. I would be shocked if they're still on the roster by the end of the week, let alone the end of the month. But we're going to see, because Jalen Brunson just got $26 million a year. And there ain't nobody in this world that's going to tell me Jalen Brunson is better than Colin Sexton. Mo Bamba ain't played at all. Mo Bamba got 2 years, $22 million, $11 million a year. He ain't played at all. Yusuf Nurkic is fucking useless. All right? He always fucking injured. And he just got 4 years, $70 million. All right? Come on, bro. Listen, we're not doing that. Colin said, free agent Luke Cornett has agreed to a 2-year deal with the Boston Celtics. Let's go then. You know what I'm saying? We not doing that, bro. Colin Sexton, as a leading scorer for a team, or the second leading scorer for the team, that alone qualifies you as a $20+ million guy. All right. But people try to say, oh, he put up those numbers on a shitty team. Is it Colin Sexton's fault that the roster wasn't that talented? It's not his fault. His job is to show up. And if we talk about Colin can't pass, we can bring up a lot of footage of people fucking up Colin's assist over those 3 seasons before he got hurt. On top of that, not only did Colin get better as a scorer, he got more efficient as a scorer and proved in his 3rd year that he was virtually unguardable. The only way to stop Colin Sexton is to not give him somebody to pass to. The only real deficiency he has is his height. Now, I will say, too, though, Colin Sexton has to be a better shooter off the dribble, which is one of the reasons why I don't think he's worth max money. Is because he doesn't create enough. He didn't get a lot of jump shots off the dribble. I need to see him do that more. And I do want to see him increase his handle ability. And I think if he does that, that'll put him in max player range. Because people say, oh, he can't play defense. Bro, Colin Sexton 6'1" with a 6'9" wingspan. Fuck you mean he can't play defense? He played better defense than Garland. What are we talking about? All right. But I can see Love and Chetty getting up out of here, especially with all these moves that's being made. It's prime to me see Love in a 3-team trade, Chetty with a salary dump, and the Cavs like, all right, Colin, we got you, bro. We probably gonna give Darius Garland like 27, and he fuck with us. Yeah, for sure, he a better defender than Garland. That's a fact. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, they probably gonna get Darius like 27. You gotta get Colin like 25, 24. You know what I'm saying? I just saying like 5 years, 120. Something to send in, or 5 years, 125. If it was me, it'd be 5 years, 130. I wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying? Now it is being said that Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cavs, he don't want to go into the luxury tax until they're actually winning. And I respect that, because I understand if I'm going to pay luxury tax money, I want luxury tax money results. So I feel that. You know what I'm saying? So if they don't want to do it this year and they want to wait till next year, now get me wrong, they don't have no reason to trade Love, because his $30 million coming off the books next year helps. It just doesn't help this year. It just helps next year. Karis LeVert is on a 1-year deal. Chetty Osman on a 1-year deal. So that's $60 million in cap back to the Cavs for next year. Like I say, with these moves being made, you can go ahead and get rid of Love and Chetty, because guess what? You got Mobley and Allen starting. And then you can come off the bench with Marketing and Lopez. Come on, bro. 7-footers. You swapping out 7-footers to bring in more 7-footers. Nobody in the league is going to be able to handle that, bro. Then you add a Mobley and a Dean Wade that you can sub in that position in various instances. Come on, bro. That's fire. All right. InDaStreetzSportz just put up NBA sources say the Utah Jazz are close to a DeAndre Ayton trade. We were just talking about that earlier. Like I said, DeAndre Ayton playing with Malik Beasley and Donovan Mitchell. That could be something to see. We gonna see what happened though, y'all. But listen, I don't even want to come up here for a couple minutes. It's a couple more trades and shit that we gonna have to get to. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna have to spin the block for that. You know what I'm saying? So for everybody tuning in, it was a pleasure having you. Make sure if you didn't catch it from the beginning, you catch it on the replay. Make sure you subscribe. But we will be spinning the block with this. You know what I'm saying? For a whole full in-depth thing, whether it be later on tonight or it may be tomorrow, because I'm off tomorrow. So we could do that. Hey, yeah, no, Daniel, they definitely serious from here on out. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? No, it's cool, bro. Listen, it don't matter if you late, bruh. It just matter that you was able to catch it. You can always replay it, and you could just subscribe, so you can always get the notification when it come on. You feel me? Listen, it's always love from DeeTrynt and InDaStreetzSportz. You feel me? We always appreciate everybody who come up. Always feel free to come on when we up here. You can hit the link, come in and get on the simulcast. You know what I'm saying? Or you can just bring in your thoughts. It's always love over here. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm gonna have to go ahead and let y'all go get some family time in right quick. You know what I mean? So DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports. Please like, subscribe, share. If you like the footage, make sure y'all let them know. You know what I'm saying? Where the subs at? What you mean where the subs at? Hold on, why I don't understand that question. Um, I'm assuming you talking about notifications though. But you can subscribe. Subscribe. There we go. I had a slow moment, bro. I got you. You can subscribe on YouTube or Twitch at InDaStreetzSportz. Type in Game Changer Sports Talk. You can subscribe on Spotify or Anchor. You know what I'm saying? InDaStreetzSportz. I got you. InDaStreetzSportz, Game Changer Source. Game Changer Sports Talk. We also got a website where we do articles. You know what I'm saying? So you can catch those and catch the fresh articles and read those. That's InDaStreetzSportz.com. You know what I'm saying? So nothing else. Definitely follow me on all social media platforms at DeeTrynt, D_Trent. It's going to be one of the variations. You know what I'm saying? Feel free to inbox me, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Email DeeTrynt@gmail.com. Always feel free to hit me up. If you got stuff that you want to get talked about, or you want me to elaborate on, hit me up, man. If you need some commercials or something, you want to, you know what I'm saying, need some promotion for your business and stuff like that, hit me up, man. This is what I do. But it's a pleasure having y'all. I appreciate y'all coming in. I'm definitely going to catch y'all when I spin the block. One.